First, for tickets, call 215-893-1999. That's 215-893-1999.
Live from KYW3, this is Eyewitness News at 6.
The sound of snowblowers everywhere today as our area tries to get out from under the effects of a big winter storm.
Snow in the streets means kids out of school, the first big storm of the year, giving a lot of people a day off. But we're here working to give you all the coverage here. Good evening, everyone. I'm Denise Saunders.
That's what we do. I'm Larry Kane. Our area got more snow today than we got all of last season.
All right, the entire Eyewitness News team has been covering the storm since before dawn. We begin in the Weather Center with Chief Meteorologist Chris Dunn. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Denise and Larry. Last night we were looking down to the south in Virginia and Maryland for the snow to come up. Now it is moving off to the northeast, and it is moving out of the area. As we scan the skies down to the south across Virginia, they are recovering from this storm. North Carolina had a bad ice storm with over 1 million people losing power. Off to the north and west, nothing else is coming our way except sunshine for tomorrow. So that's the good news as far as this storm is concerned. There you can see that heavy swath of snow moving through the city and right around Philadelphia. That's where we got the most out of this snowstorm. The Poconos, not as much. Jersey Shore, a little bit of rain mixed in with the snow. Hatfield and Montgomery County reporting in with 9.5 inches of snow. At Ambler, 9.5 inches. And running on down the list toward Radnor and Boyertown, King of Prussia, coming in with around 8 inches of snow. 7.8 in Sewell, New Jersey. Media, Delaware County, 7.5 inches of snow. And in the northeast, Philadelphia, 7 inches of snow. 6.8 is the official report from the Philadelphia International Airport. And there's still a little bit of light snow around. 29 degrees, the late report on the temperature from Philadelphia, 29 in Wilmington. Because the temperatures are below freezing, we'll have to watch out for some of that melted snow on the roadway to refreeze, causing an ice skating rink effect because of the slick roadways. Take it extra careful out there tonight. All right, let's go to Sky Tracker now and show you what's happening. It looks like a lot of that snow is starting to break up. You can see that's it's having a problem, mainly like light flurries out there. The radar has a little problem in picking that up. Right up here is Phoenixville, and that's where Carol Erickson is. And last time we checked in with her, just a few flakes here and there. What's happening out there right now in Phoenixville, Carol?
Oh, well, Chris, you're seeing fewer and fewer of these flakes, and they're getting smaller and smaller. So we are definitely seeing the end of this storm here. Let me show you this. We've been measuring the snow total. Take a look, though, at this icicle that we have forming on the lights here. So you can see the icing problem that we're going to be having a little bit later on as these roads that were a little warmer, like this light post was, when they start to freeze, the mess we're going to be having out here. Here in Phoenixville, I measured on top of the mailbox. It was 7 inches of snow there. We also found Amy and Rocky walking. You were walking your dog out here today, enjoying this snow?
Yes, definitely.
What does Rocky think of it?
Oh, he loves it.
Okay.
He's jumping through it, and he just loves it.
But he loves to sleep in at night because it's too cold to be out.
Definitely, yes.
Okay, I had to get my protect your pet message in there. Amy, thank you very much. Rocky, you're a good boy. So we are watching for some slushy roads that are out there now where people have been out cruising around, honking their horns and having a great time in this snow, but this is all going to freeze tonight, and then you'll have another set of problems coming up for the morning rush due to that. Reporting live in Phoenixville, I'm Carol Erickson. We'll go back to you.
Meteorologist and the chairman of our Pet Bureau. Our team of reporters spreading out across our region tonight to show us the impact of the snow. Right now, let's take you to Bucks County. Robin McIntosh is standing by live in Warrington tonight. Robin?
Well, Laurie, those flurries continue to come down here in Warrington Township, Bucks County. We're here at the corner of Route 611 and Bristol Road behind me. These roads are still snow-covered, but passable. That's because of all the hard work today by all those snow plow crews, I should say. And if you've been wondering who to thank, well, let us introduce you. They're the winter warriors who spent the entire morning and afternoon behind the wheel so you can get where you're going in spite of the snow. Snowplow operators who hit the streets at first light, and after gassing up, were still at it as the sun went down.
People, closing businesses down now and all. It makes it a little rough, but after they get out of the way, no problems.
How long do you expect to be out here today?
That's up to Mother Nature, not me.
From Bucks to Delaware counties, Montgomery to Chester County, the story much the same. Local and state highway crews battled a storm that just kept dumping snow on already plowed and shoveled highways and driveways.
As soon as it stops, it should be able to get cleaned up relatively fast.
Pretty heavy snow, huh?
Yeah, it's slippery too.
Any advice to drivers out there about what they can do to help you?
Yeah, like everybody else says, stay home. I wish I was.
For most drivers, their first concern, even before hitting the streets, clearing the snow off their cars. Better to stay at home, but some had no other choice.
I'm going to get something to eat.
In this?
Yes, there's no food at home, so I have to go out for my daughter.
This is an emergency run.
Yes, it is.
So as we take a live look at a Warrington Township truck, one of those winter warriors out here, all we can say is, unless you really do have an emergency, stay home tonight. Let these guys do their work overnight so they can be ready for tomorrow morning's rush hour. That's the story live from Warrington. I'm Robin McIntosh, KYW 3 Eyewitness News.
Robin, thank you. Breaking news at this hour and a transit alert involving a SEPTA regional railroad line. Right now, SEPTA's R2 Warminster line is shut down. SEPTA says electrical wires fell onto one train on that line at 9th and Girard in Philadelphia. Now, no one is reported hurt, and electricity is turned off to those broken wires, but passengers and crew are being kept on the train. Another train is going to tow the first one. Now, this is also causing a delay on SEPTA's R7 Chestnut Hill East line. Delays on both lines are adding to problems caused by the snowstorm. We'll keep you updated on this particular breaking news story. Well, now let's move now to the city of Philadelphia, which is under a snow emergency. Amy Polacco is live in Feltonville to show us how it's going there. Amy, and I guess anyone ticketed or towed yet?
Well, Denise, we haven't seen any yet, but we know it's just a matter of time on this street. This truck right here is just fine. It can stay here with all the snow on top of it if it wants to. The other side of the street that has to worry about moving, just a few cars left on the other side. Those who have already moved their cars today, we talked to them, and they say they spent a good part of their day doing it. For some, today was about soaking in the whole scene here in Wissahickon or in Chestnut Hill.
Feels like Christmas. It's a great way to start the holiday season.
For others, today was about this. And this. Everybody's scrambling to get their cars out before tow trucks and these come along.
And I'm stuck, and I'm waiting for a shovel. That's the situation.
The city says narrow streets like this one will be plowed this year, thanks to new, smaller equipment.
You know, the city would routinely say, we don't plow small streets. And so to say it was just a problem, it might be a little bit of an understatement. We never undertook to plow these streets, but we're doing that now. And I think we're going to do it successfully every time we have a snow.
Now, Mayor Street seems pretty confident about that. He also is confident that the city's doing all it can tonight to clear the roads to make them drivable and safe. He says the city has 700 vehicles out on the roads taking care of them right now. Also, we have just learned that the emergency rules will be lifted as of 5 a.m. tomorrow. Reporting live from Feltonville, Amy Polacco, KYW 3 Eyewitness News.
Oh, that's an indication the city got its job done. Thank you, Amy. From the situation in the city of Philadelphia, let's check on things in Camden County. Esther Miller is standing by live in Cherry Hill.
Well, it's a cold, stiff wind, Larry, here in Cherry Hill, and lots of folks still out on the hills enjoying the last of they can of today to enjoy the hills and the cold, cold weather. Many folks had the day off because school was canceled, and lots of people enjoyed the day off. Sliding down the hills behind Cherry Hill West High School. Classes are canceled, and kids say they were praying for it.
We're doing all the old-fashioned remedies like pajamas inside out and spoon under your pillow just in case it, it's going to snow or not.
Doing the snow dance. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
No homework today, just learning the art of snow tubing.
If you, stand back and then you run and jump and land on your tube and put all your weight on your tube, you go down real fast.
I found group style was a lot easier. Much easier than the roadways in Cherry Hill, pounded with snow and visibility low all morning. It prompted a white-knuckle ride for many drivers, fender benders, and sliding all over the roadways.
I was scared today. I started to turn around, but I was scared, so I just said I'm just going to keep on going and go ahead to work.
It was pretty scary on the roads at times, but many who did not have to work enjoyed the hills, which weren't scary at all. It's much, much colder than it was earlier today. A lot of very fat flakes instead of rainy snow like it was earlier today. A lot less snow, too. Reporting live in Cherry Hill, I'm Esther Miller, KYW 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Esther, thank you. Well, from Camden County, now let's check out things in Wilmington, Delaware. The plows were hitting the streets, and they had plenty to do with the snow continuing to fall. On some streets, it was easier to just walk than try to drive, and waiting for the dart, as you'll see in just a moment, was not fun at all, even with an umbrella handy.
The winter storm is the cause of a number of accidents around the region. You'd expect them. We begin in Lower Pottsgrove, Montgomery County. This UPS tractor trailer jackknifed shortly after noon. The driver was trying to navigate Industrial Highway when the icy road won out. Police had to direct other traffic around the truck. Another accident, this one on Route 422 West, King of Prussia, Montgomery County, landed a station wagon on the side of the highway. Another driver skidded off the road in Upper Providence, but seemed to be okay. The rush hour commute tonight has got to be a challenging one. For the latest on the roads, let's check in with Bob Kelly live in the KYW Traffic Center. Bob?
Larry, good evening. It's certainly a challenging one, but I am happy to report that I really think that we're ready to close the book here on the evening rush hour and really let the PennDOT crews do what they do best on the overnight. I'll give you some ideas of what's still out there. Let's put the maps in motion. First, in New Jersey, we still have a problem on the New Jersey Turnpike. Snow-covered 35-mile-an-hour speed restriction. However, double accidents here on 295. First one is southbound at Swedesboro. The other one northbound at Paulsboro. Still working on a crash on the Lincoln Drive right at Gypsy Lane. Let's go outside, take a peek around town. The Mid-County tolls. You see the headlights are coming off the Blue Route. No delays at all. Again, the volume certainly has decreased dramatically over the last half hour. Now, here's a problem spot just in the last 2 hours. The roadway, the 202 at Route 29. Now, the crews were out there, the PennDOT plows. However, the windy conditions in that area blowing the snow back on the roadway. So this is going to be one area that PennDOT is going to have to take a look at, address, and stay out on the overnight. Schuylkill Expressway, well, we're starting to see some volume here. So this goes to show you the bottom deck there is moving to your right. That's eastbound traffic into the city. They're telling me now we got a disabled vehicle at Gulf Mills, but that shouldn't be affecting your trip here. About 45 miles per hour, I would say, Schuylkill, east and westbound. But again, PennDOT has done a fantastic crew, and you can see some of the spray coming off of the roadway, up from the roadway, from the car in front of you. You're stepping out the front door tonight. You're going to need your wipers in good working order and some of that juicy juice in the wiper reservoirs, I would say. The Ben Franklin Bridge looking fine there. And Amy mentioned something that the emergency we're going to stay into effect until 5 o'clock. That means the crews are going to be out there on the overnight getting those side streets cleaned up for the tomorrow morning's morning rush. Denise, back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Well, SEPTA's regional rail lines are running at least 10 minutes behind schedule, and the R2 Warminster line is down due to wire problems. SEPTA buses are being detoured in Manayunk, but all bus routes are up and running. Expect scattered delays. Now, all Philadelphia Flash buses have been canceled for the evening, and Paratransit is limiting service for emergencies only. All Amtrak Northeast Corridor trains are now running 20 to 30 minutes late. But good news for Acela riders, their trains are running on schedule. Now, New Jersey Transit trains are experiencing 10-minute delays on all rail lines and 30 to 40-minute delays on bus routes. For up-to-date information, you can call the New Jersey Transit hotline at 973-491-7400 or log on to the website at www.njtransit.com. The Delaware Transit Corporation is reporting 5 to 10-minute delays on most bus routes. Some buses are also experiencing some minor detours throughout the area, but overall, no major delays.
Okay, stand by, everybody. A very large baseball story concerning the Phillies and the Mets is coming up. The big story from Beasley. Our storm coverage continues, but coming up next.
It was a tough day for SEPTA riders and SEPTA drivers here in Delaware County. We'll tell you how they did making it through the storm. Coming up.
A long day for passengers at Philadelphia International Airport. I'm Beverly Williams. I'll have that story coming up on Eyewitness News.
Whoa. Buy any movie, get a free rental. Ray, get out here. You gotta see this. Would have killed you to knock first.
You get more when you buy movies at Blockbuster, like free rentals. This holiday season, buy any new movie on DVD or video, even the biggest hits, and you'll get a free rental. Free rentals. Another reason the best way to buy is Blockbuster.
I love my home, and I want to make it beautiful. I needed a new floor. My neighbor told me Floors USA had the best selection, great service, and everyday low prices. Wow, was she right? For a new floor or area rug, Floors USA is the place to go.
Right now, take an additional 15% off every area rug in stock. Brand names like Kerastan, Norasan, and more at prices we cannot mention on TV.
Oh, say, can you say, Floors USA?
It's Macy's Perfect Gift Sale. You
Use your extra savings coupons and take our super low prices even lower. 30 to 50% off jewelry, plus an extra 10% off selections. Activewear for her from Jennifer Moore, Ole Cassini, and more. $14.98 to $29.99. Men's sweaters and outerwear, 30 to 50% off.
Visit www.camelkitchen.com for delicious meal ideas the whole family will love.
When you travel, don't downsize, Amerisize at AmeriSuites. Need more room to spread out? Get more workspace and features like data port telephones. Plus, unwind in a suite for the price of an ordinary hotel room. And when it comes to breakfast, don't downsize, Amerisize. Get AmeriSuites' free bountiful breakfast buffet every morning. Don't downsize, Amerisize at AmeriSuites. Be with family and friends during the holidays with our Share the Season rate from $59.
Share the season with visiting friends and family at the AmeriSuites nearest you.
There's more from the Weather Channel at weather.com. More travel updates, more ski and snow conditions, more forecasts at work or whenever you're on the web. Get more at weather.com or AOL keyword weather.
Now, from the Weather Channel, here's your local on the 8s.
Currently in your area, 26 degrees with some snow flurries. Forecast for your area. Your extended forecast.
You're watching the Weather Channel. Live by it.
Washington, D.C., New York, and Philadelphia woke to snowfall. We'll tell you how much snow has fallen and who will still be seeing more snow. It's a bitterly cold day across the Midwest and Northeast.
And this is what it looked like in D.C. earlier today. You picked up about 6 inches of snow officially, and kids got a snow day, and many businesses did as well. We'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Hi, and welcome to Weather Center. I'm Christina Abernathy.
And I'm Carl Parker. Thanks for joining us. We want to start you out with our winter weather expert, Paul Kosten. And Paul, looks like we broke a bit of a drought in terms of major snowstorms in the Mid-Atlantic region.
Well, it's taken a long time. It's actually been a couple of years, but we're seeing snowfall amounts on the order of generally 6 to 8 inches between Washington, Baltimore, Philadelphia, and New York. Boston's going to see a little bit less, but we're going to see pretty close to that 4 to 8 inches of snow total before it's all over in Hartford and Providence. Let's take a look right now. The snow is, for all intents and purposes, really letting up across much of the Philadelphia and New York metropolitan areas. A little bit of light snow still off to the north across portions of southeastern New York, but the heaviest snow now across extreme eastern Long Island and only eastern Connecticut, much of Rhode Island, and southeastern Massachusetts. Now, as I've said, we're going to see total snow accumulations from this storm generally between 5 and 9 inches. A typical moderate snowstorm, although It feels like a heavy snowstorm since there hasn't been many in the past few years, accompanied by generally 15 to 25 mile per hour winds. And this is an area that's capable of getting these monster nor'easters with 30 to 50 mile per hour winds. Today was sort of a little version of that, with significant snows that broke some records, 5 inches at Pittsburgh, and generally 6 to 9 inches of snow between Washington and New Jersey, New York metropolitan area. Now what we're seeing right now in the Boston metropolitan area, and all this green is just indicating different shades of snowfall intensities across metropolitan New England. We're seeing a lot of the heaviest snows actually just passing through Boston, Providence, eastern Connecticut. That will be moving out and gradually tapering off this evening. Much of what's coming into the rest of the area is pretty light, even an area where there's virtually very little snow that's coming down. But we'll see the snow gradually tapering off within the next 2 hours across much of the region, and by 9, 10 o'clock, most of the snow will be over in the area. Now for the hard-hit areas across portions of especially the Carolinas, here's some of the good news we're expecting. Tomorrow the sun is going to come out, all of the precipitation is going to be gone, and you'll notice temperatures across the Carolinas will be in the mid-40s. So we'll see a lot of that icing that even lingered through the day, that'll begin to melt. It's going to be a noisy night as you hear those pieces of ice falling off the trees. Tomorrow's going to be a much better day. And in the Northeast, you'll see your temperatures primarily in the 30s, cold and dry. That snow will begin to melt slowly and over the next several days before the next cold snap comes in on Monday. Carl, Christina?
Paul Kosin, thank you very much for that. Let's go ahead and talk about what's happening in the Northeast once again. And we do have the light snows extending across much of New York State. The heavier snows pretty much confined to southeastern parts of Massachusetts as well as into Connecticut and Rhode Island. Snow is now completely ended for the most part in New York City. Just a few light snow showers left over here around Newburgh and towards the Taconic Parkway. And notice, if you will, that we have the heavier snows here again, southeastern parts of Massachusetts around the South Shore and extending back into Providence and primarily eastern parts of Connecticut. And we're looking for an additional 3 to 6, as indicated by the white here, in those areas, and then a larger area of 1 to 3. Also some very light snow showing up around the lake-favored regions in lower parts of Michigan. Temperatures now 24 in Detroit. It is 29 in D.C. and 27 in New York. It will be slightly warmer tomorrow. And we'll see some light snow showers with another little feature that comes through. Very weak system. About 29 in Pittsburgh, 35 in D.C., and about 34, we think, tomorrow in Boston. In the southeast, we can follow what's left of that system dropping down into northern Florida. There is a little wave on this boundary, and with that we have some heavier showers now moving through parts of northern Florida right around 75, and we actually have some heavier showers and thunder showers just north of Tampa and St. Pete and extending across 75 and into areas north of I-4, and there might be some severe weather here. We'll have to watch for that. And notice this large area of heavier rain to the west of Tampa. That will be moving in, so look for a wet night in the Tampa-St. Pete area and right on down towards Sarasota as well. And farther southward, light rain showers around Miami and Fort Lauderdale, very light rain showers. And you certainly could see more of the same tomorrow. We're thinking a pretty good chance of wet weather across much of central and southern Florida. Very nice, though, through a lot of the southeast, if a bit on the cool side. 55 in New Orleans and about 44 tomorrow in Memphis, Tennessee. How about the Midwest? Christina?
We are dealing with a bit of snow as this trough swings through the Great Lakes region. We've had snow across especially parts of Michigan, upper and lower Michigan, but the rest of the Midwest, things have just been pretty quiet and pretty cool for you today. Here's a closer look at the snow, though, and we are seeing that here across central, upper Michigan, and then northern and western lower Michigan. Although the snow not quite as widespread as we saw earlier, you'll still want to watch out along I-75 as well as over toward Marquette. Just a couple of the areas seeing the snow, but for most folks, not expecting tremendous amounts of snow, at least not through midnight tonight. And our temperatures, pretty chilly, 21 in Green Bay and Chicago, 22 in Des Moines, and 20 right now in Minneapolis. And it looks like we're in for another fairly cold day tomorrow. Temperatures are going to be in the 30s for many of you, and we're including Chicago in that at 31, only 29 in Green Bay, and 35 expected high in Minneapolis. Back to the west, we've had some areas of fog here across Oregon and Wyoming and Colorado, so some reduced visibilities. But as far as any precipitation, we just haven't seen a lot, although we do think that's going to change. So we're going to see wet weather moving into California by tomorrow. You'll see some showers around, including San Francisco. As for right now, though, things are really pretty quiet across most of the west. Again, we are dealing with some cool temperatures in some areas and wet weather in the forecast.
Doesn't believe in shoes. Runs naked in the meadow with friends.